Next up, we are going to get into Lizzo and Aries Spears. So you had to know we were not going to let this one slip by us. Um, Before we do that, want to let everybody know, man,
Is that me
appreciate
or
your
you,
support.
Jay?
Say that again.
Nah, I kind of glitched out a little bit. I ain't know if
Oh,
that
am
was
I
mine
back?
or yours. Yeah, yeah, you good, you good.
Okay. Just want to say before we get into Lizzo and Aries Spears, man, want to let everybody know we appreciate you for supporting the channel, man. So if you're watching this on the YouTube video on the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, man. Like the video, man. We appreciate that. Appreciate you always supporting logical content, man. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button as we continue to grow the channel. But we're gonna get into Lizzo and Aries Spears, man. Aries Spears, longtime comedian, man. Aries Spears goes way back. I
Mad
remember
TV
watching
days.
Aries. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember looking at Aries Spears on Mad TV in the early 90s. So he
Mm-hmm.
goes back a long ways, 20, 30 years when it comes to comedy. And he was on The Art of Dialogue. And was he was sort of I think he was kind of prompted. I feel like the interviewer knew what was going to happen when he asked Aries Spears about Lizzo, and so he kind of just lit the match and set the fuse, and he just let Aries Spears do the rest. so so Aries Spears was, Buddy asked Aries Spears about Lizzo, and Aries Spears went in on Lizzo, and he went in and started talking about, how Lizzo, puts herself out there physically, and he went in on the body shaming community and all of that kind of stuff, and he offered his 2 cents. This is obviously trending right now, so we thought that we would also give our thoughts on this whole situation. So first, we'll go ahead and play what Aries Spears had to say, and then we are going to react to that afterwards.
Yo, you know somebody that actually make good music, man? Lizzo.
Uh,
Bro, have you heard her shit, yo? Like as a songwriter, yo.
I can't get past the fact that she looks like the shit emoji.
Yo.
Very beautiful girl. Got a very pretty face. But she keeps showing her body off, nigga. Like, come on, man. Come on, yo. I'm sorry. Listen, I ain't the most in shape nigga in the world. But I still, when you funny and you got swagger and confidence and you decent looking, I think I'm at least handsome, you get pussy. But a woman that's built like a plate of mashed potatoes is in trouble.
oh man, this I missed the shit emoji part, bro. I ain't catch that the first time.
I'm sorry.
uh,
But musically, yo, she go hard, man. She a good songwriter, though.
Oh, yo, she's dope. Her music hard, her body ain't. Oh, here they come. The wall of Braveheart bitches. Like the battle in the field. Coming over the hills. Are you ready for war? You can hear the horses thumping on the fucking ground. It's about to. Here he come. Who that motherfucker think he is? Be body shaming that motherfucker.
Hey, yo. It's a good thing, yo.
You know what kills me? Hold on. You know what kills me about women? Is the hypocrisy and the contradiction. Yes, queen, slay queen, yes, queen, slay. Yeah, girl, your confidence. Fuck diabetes. Fuck heart problems. Fuck heart disease, cholesterol. Y'all all claim womanhood and about sisterhood and support for your sister, when it comes to that ridiculous shit. But if you really gave a fuck, why wouldn't you go, black girl, we love you. We love your confidence, boo-boo. But this ain't it. This ain't it. That's the real love. Y'all will jump on me for making jokes, but y'all won't fucking be real and go, sister, put the eclair down. This ain't it. It's treadmill time.
Speaking of that, right? Because she does have issues with her weight, right? And it's actually a video online of her crying about being fat shamed. Did you see that video of her crying?
We all do. I do.
But yeah, man, she said she be having an issue, man, with people fat shaming her about her weight and cracking jokes about how big she is.
Well, how you gonna have issues, but at the same time show your whole ass at an NBA game? As comedians, we take what the defense gives us. You don't want to be put out there, then don't put it out there. And again, I know. Listen, I ain't never met a plate of pasta I didn't like. I'm a pasta hooer, nigga. You know, I'm trying. It's an everyday struggle for me. You know, I come from a family where we drank fried milkshakes.
Oh man, that is great, bro. I missed the shit emoji part the first time I watched that.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah,
oh, man.
So I think predictably he incurred some heat. So real quick, I'm going to share. I'm going to share real quick some of the stuff that was said in response to him. So this was an article that I found. Lizzo won VMA, and she kind of, in her acceptance speech, she went in on haters. That part is irrelevant, so I'm going to ignore all of that. But there were some people who responded to what Aries Spears said because they believed that he was, fat shaming or body shaming or shaming in general. So let's see if we go down here. Let's see. So it says here, fitness trainer Shanti wrote on Twitter, did her just okay. I'm going to try to be kind here. I put Lizzo through multiple workouts and she would run circles around this dude any day of the year. Second, for those who want to shame bodies of anyone, especially those who are kind-hearted humans, F you. And this is from Danny Fernandez. She has a blue check mark, but I don't know who this person is. She said, no one who is happy with themselves has time to critique Lizzo. Her radiance and self-love is triggering to unhealed people. They could shine like she does, but instead of working on their own happiness, they want to pull her down into their darkness, and they can't. And then this was another response from another blue check mark called Vanessa LaRue Veasley. Also don't know who this person is. She said, the Lizzo hate still really gets under my skin because all that woman does is put out good music, love her beautiful self, and cheer for everyone else to win. So there was a lot of support for Lizzo in social media troll world, and Aries Spears actually responded to the backlash. So real quick, I'm gonna play real quick what Aries Spears' response was, and then we'll go ahead and get into the commentary.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Aries Spears. I had to put the Yankee on for this one. Listen, I know I'm trending right now because of the Lizzo joke. And I just want to say, man, a lot of you women are funny, with the critiques. I ain't funny. I'm fat, unattractive. No woman wants me. They always try to hurt you with what works for you the most. That's what they try to hurt. That's like you break up and you go, that's why you got a little wee-wee and you can't screw. But you've been with him for years. I'm 32 years in this game and I ain't funny. I'm 32 years in this game and I ain't never got no meow. That's hilarious. Y'all don't deal in logic and sense. You deal in emotion and anger. Come with something that's not subjective. Me being unfunny, unattractive, that's not a fact. That's subjective. Stop leading with emotion and anger and come with facts. You heard me? Get me for the link to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. And if there's any women out there who want to give me some meow for some of this, holla at me.
Oh boy. So yeah, that was Aries Spears' response. So what do you have to say about his response or the whole situation in general, the backlash? What do you got? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, that was hilarious, Mr. Spears. So kudos to you. I got some great chuckles out of that. I was tearing up over there. All right. Honestly, and his timing when you talk to him is arguably better than his stand up. Like when he talks, he's funnier that way. Now, I'm not saying his stand
Yeah.
up's not funny, but as a genuine person, he is absolutely hilarious. So I think he raised valid points in both videos. The main one is the fact that the enablers are allowing this to go on. And they're saying that there's a difference between, calling something out for what it is and just or just being flat out, disrespectful and rude or whatever. And he's just like, look, this is part of your shtick. This is who you are. So I'm going to give my point of view about what you're doing to everybody, because you can be that size and not attack people. She attacks people with her size. So at that point, people are going to have something to say if they have something to say about someone that size. So honestly, the only type of ridicule and backlash that she gets, or hate, as her friends would say, are from people that are that are victims of her attack. Because listen, the people that go to these award shows, all right, because part of that thumbnail that I put, it was that see-through thing she wore, where she was just booty naked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so people didn't come out there for that. She attacked those people. If a man goes out in public and starts showing everybody his stuff, that's indecent exposure. This woman wears sheer cover and it's fashion? I think not, ma'am. So at this point, she was doing too much, and she knows she's doing too much, and that's part of her troll nature. So I feel like him calling out the aspect that, hey, your health, ma'am, that's what's important, and the enablers are allowing her to continue this path with bad health habits. And I don't need to sit around her to know that she has bad health habits. So, if anything, he has constructive criticism for what she's got going on, and to her fans, to how to actually treat the girl you say you love, instead of treating her as a spectacle, or and hashtag RIP when things go crazy. So yeah. So how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I'm with all of that. I don't I'm team Aries Spears here.
Mm-hmm.
When he said, as a comedian, we take what the defense gives us, I think that
Yeah.
was the key. I think that was the key part of that whole thing. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like, don't get it twisted. Lizzo gets brought up in this capacity, not in and of itself because she's a big girl,
Right.
but because she's a big girl who thinks that everyone should feel the exact same way that she thinks about
Mm-hmm.
wearing the type of stuff that a woman with a different body type would wear. Like, that's what this boils down to. So, like, the thumbnail that you got there with what she has going on, that was one of the situations where this came up. Another one where this came up is when she showed up at a Lakers game with, her whole ass out, wearing a see-through short, super short mesh skirt type thing where you saw her ass. And it's like, listen, in most situations, a woman with a slim shape is going to get critiqued for wearing something like that. So if you are wearing that, you can't expect to not be critiqued for wearing it. And you then cannot suggest that the critique that you're receiving for dressing that way is a form of shaming. Like, it's not shaming. You're wearing this, therefore you're incurring that type of attention. If any one of these skinny fitness models or IG models showed up dressed like that, people would probably have something to say, because you just don't show up with your whole ass hanging out like that and not get commented on about it. So whether you're big, small, or somewhere in between, that's going to happen. But see, what people like this and what this body positivity contingent likes to do is leverage dynamics that have been in place for years and years and years in order to bring light to something that is not as prominent as they claim it to be, which in this case is body shaming. So all Aries Spears was doing was commenting on the fact that that Lizzo has done this and has lashed out at people who have criticized her for dressing this way. Look, at the end of the day, I've said this before, man, and I'll say it again. You're not going to reinvent the wheel on some of this stuff, okay? There is a different appeal to a woman with Lizzo's body type dressing in these types of outfits than there is with a woman who is shaped like Cardi B or Brittany Renner or anybody else, any one of these other shapely females, Lori Harvey, Melissa Ford, you can name them. There's a different reaction to that. Okay. And that's just the way the world is. The world is inherently unfair. If you don't want to get criticized for dressing that way, you should do one of two things. Don't dress like that, or get yourself in better shape so that you don't get the kind of shaming, reaction that you feel that you're getting. But you can't have the world as you believe it to be. This isn't the world according to Lizzo. Just like it's not the world according to JV Wins, it's not the world according to Doggone SS. I'd like to be able to do a whole lot of stuff out here that if another person did it, people would react differently to it than if I do it. But that's not the world I live in. I live in the world of reality, not in the world of pie in the sky. So I can either move in such a way that I am not going to incur that kind of critique, or I cannot make moves, period. But you have to pick one. You can't live in this in-between world where you just get to operate in a nexus and do whatever you want and think that people should just acquiesce to whatever it is that you're putting out there because you live in the world of rainbows and unicorns where it's built upon your design. It's unreasonable. Like, we don't live that way. It doesn't exist. The world is inherently unfair. It just is. So, like, you're not Cardi B. You're not Nicki Minaj. You're not Beyonce. Okay? You're not somebody like this. You're not somebody who can wear a see-through dress and not get criticized negatively for it. You just don't live in that world. And I hate to break it to the body shaming crowd who wants to preach all of this queen, yes, beautiful this and beautiful that. Look, put on your Oculus, okay? And you can live in that kind of world where you can dress that way and everybody praises you for it. Go get on your PlayStation or your Xbox and play The Sims and build the perfect utopian society where you can be overweight and obese and dress that way, and people think it looks just as good as a woman who doesn't have that kind of body. But in the real world, if you're obese, it isn't becoming upon you to dress that way. It just isn't. And if you want to feel the admiration that another person would feel by dressing like that, I would highly advise you to put the work in so that you can maximize what you can do physically to dress that way. And it's possible. I've seen it done. Okay. Monique used to be big as hell. She got in shape. She looks way better now when she wears more form-fitting clothing. And I'm not trying to suggest that Lizzo's not putting in work. I don't know. But what I am saying is, while you're in this stage that you're in presently, it would behoove you to move in such a way that you will not get the kind of shame that you feel that you're getting for dressing the way an Instagram model would dress. An Instagram model would show up at a Lakers game with her ass out, wearing a skirt where you could see her whole ass. She wasn't even wearing underwear. It was just her whole ass. like Lizzo, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like what? Like this. Everything is everything. Acceptance above all else culture that we have adopted is one of the greatest tricks that the devil ever pulled. It really is. And it has lulled people into a false sense of security that convinces them that maximization and self improvement is secondary to acceptance in a vacuum. And it's not. If you want to do these things, put the work in, you know? And again, I'm not trying to suggest, I don't know what her regimen is. I don't know what kind of training regimen that her trainer has her on, if she has one. But whatever it is, it needs to be kicked up a notch. You know, that's it. And I'm not trying to be harmful. I'm not trying to be harsh, but it's just it just is what it is. And so I'm with Team Aries Spears on this. I agree with what he was saying. I don't think it's shaming, and I do think that he was correct. You know, he called it. He called it before it happened. You know, when the Boo Birds came out critiquing his weight and his body type. But the difference is Aries Spears ain't on Instagram every day posting pics with his shirt off. He's not doing that. Lizzo is. So what do you want people to do? Body shaming crowd, body positivity crowd? Like, what do you want? You know, like, people need to get a more firm grasp on reality and stop it with this rainbows and unicorn stuff, this pie in the sky stuff. Live in the world as it is presently constructed, and in all likelihood will continue to be constructed. Like, this is the way this stuff works. Monique got in shape. Adele got in shape. Okay, Adele used to be big. Adele was like, I don't want to be big anymore. Was health a motivation for her getting in shape? I'm sure it was. But I'm also sure that her feeling better about herself and how she looked aesthetically also had to be a tremendous motivation. She got in shape. She don't look that big no more. Okay, Rebel Wilson, same thing. Rebel Wilson was in those Pitch Perfect movies. Fat. She ain't fat no more. She got in shape. And do you know what happened when she got in shape? The body shaming, body positivity crowd came for her. So clearly they don't discriminate. If you don't fit in with the rhetoric that they're putting out there, they're going to come for your neck, male or female. It doesn't matter. And Rebel Wilson, these people, Rebel Wilson, Adele, they're not going out there saying, hey, y'all need to get in shape. They just quietly went about the business of getting themselves in shape. So what's with the hate that they got for that? It's because people are lazy and don't want to put the work in to maximize themselves. That's what this boils down to. And, you know, I think Aries Spears was making light of that dynamic in a comedic way because he's a comedian, but I think that's what he was speaking to. And I don't think he was wrong.
Well, and nah, neither do I. And honestly, it's just classless behavior. And if there was any woman wearing that anywhere, that's classless. And you can say, oh yeah, free the nipple, it's liberation, it's this and that. I'm expressing my femininity. Who told you that? Who told you that that's what expressing your femininity is?
Echo chambers on Instagram.
I'm telling, it's wild stuff.
That's what told them that. Yeah. Echo chambers on Instagram. And now TikTok, I guess.
Yeah, I'm expressing my femininity by doing this. Now, granted, there's stuff like panties or whatever that's just like, yeah, I get why women don't wear that because whatever, or bras. I get why they don't do that. I don't have issue with that. This woman was walking outside naked. And so she's in places. This was a grown folks event, but a Lakers game, there's kids there. And it's all good and funny, right? And again, it's indecent exposure for man's running around doing this. But she can run around and go out here and do it and not receive criticism. So no, nobody's going to kick you out of a venue for it. But you goddamn right. People that saw footage of this is going to have something to say about it because it's not cool. You're walking around nude. So of course people are going to have shit to say. There's plenty of big women out here that are just living their lives and they're escaping scrutiny. But as soon as they get out here and they start doing anything that would put you in a light of being scrutinized, then at that point, you know, you're gonna reap what you sow with that.
Yes.
And so if you go, so this woman is a celebrity. So that's already one bar of receiving criticism. Hey, once you say I'm taking this leap, yeah, you just open yourself up to all the hate mail. And then she wants to take it to another level where she's pressing some buttons with people. Yeah, maybe those buttons need to be pushed because beauty is in all things. And okay, man, that's cool. But what you claiming is beautiful on the external, your internals ain't so beautiful. So you might need to check your organs. You might need to check that.
Yeah.
Because that's not as healthy as your face or as your curves.
Yeah.
So you might need to address those things. That's my issue with this stuff. I don't, me personally, all shapes and sizes, I don't mind. But whenever I do have something around where, you know what I'm saying, it's a little healthy, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying healthy as far as weight is concerned.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about their health in the long term. Because in the long term, it's like, all right, hey, that's cool now. But what about years down the line kind of thing where, you know, bodies start to break down and you can't keep toting all of this, doing all of this and eating like that. So at some point, something has to give. And so what Aries Spears said about, you know, the hey, if you really cared about her, then you wouldn't be, you can love her for who she is and what she does, but in the same breath there should be this thing of, all right, now let's bring it over here to the healthier side though. Nah, let's not make more fun of it where, you know, memes and stuff, or you shooting stuff, eating donuts or something and just egging it on. And it's just like, well, okay, well, you have sold yourself out. You've sold yourself out for this fame. Because at this point, you are willfully doing this and willfully making sure you keep these pounds on because it's part of your persona.
Mm-hmm.
If your persona is nothing but your weight, then you don't have any talent. So if you're really talented, you can drop this weight thing, all this trolling stuff, but it is what it is. Lil' Kim wore scantily clad. People didn't have stuff to say. You know, people had things to say. It's just that when you're that weight, people got more ammunition to say more things. And so it's just what it is. So it's not shaming. It's calling a spade and spades be spades. You know what I'm saying? The shit emoji thing. Now that now that's genius because I will never see her the same. But at the, but at the same time, man, it ain't shaming. It's just roasting. It's a comedian, one celebrity hollering at another celebrity. It is what it is. You know?
Yeah. I think that was a comedic bit on YouTube.
Great.
That's what I'm saying. Like that was one of these, you know, like that was very similar to like, you just can't, you know, Dave Chappelle gets hate from the LGBTQIXYZ. I don't know. They add a new letter to this thing every day. But you know, Dave Chappelle, you know, he puts that stuff in his routine, and now he is anti all of that stuff. He's not an ally. And you know, everybody can get it. You know, I reckon back to a joke that Tracy Morgan did on his Black and Blue special years ago, and he was making jokes about gay people. And he said, if you can take a dick, you can take a joke. And like everybody gets it. Where were all of the boo birds when Lisa Lampanelli was making nothing but black jokes in her whole entire routine?
And she would go
all
in.
She did, her whole entire routine was, I'm a fat white woman, and that's why I date black men. That was her whole bit as a stand-up comedian. I used to watch Lisa Lampanelli in disgust because that was her whole bit. That was her whole bit.
She had funny jokes here and there, but it got old.
That was mostly what she did.
Yeah, I know.
That was mostly what she did. And so, and the thing is, I'm not outraged by that. I don't like it because I don't like the idea that it perpetuates this notion that if you're fat, get with a black man. So I have a problem with that. But otherwise, I wasn't outraged in and of itself because I acknowledged this is the comedy space and this is her bit. Everybody gets it. So LGBTQ people, you get it. Black people get it. White people get it. Latino people get it. Gay people get it. Women get it. Fat people get it. So I'm just with Eric. Like I'm with him on that, and I just don't like this body shaming stuff. But like, what's happened is we have not we, but the world, right? Society, culture has created this conflation between personality and body positivity. So, in other words, if a person is a great person and they have a great heart and they love themselves, that should be enough for us. And we should therefore not critique certain things like the need to lose weight. And if you do it, it means that you're shaming them. No, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guarantee you this, because this is the way this kind of stuff works. If Lizzo was perceived, if Lizzo was not a likable person, because let's be fair, by all accounts, she's a likable individual. Like, people genuinely like her. I don't know her clearly. I don't follow celebrities like that. But from everything that I see, whether it's wherever she is on the media, podcast, YouTube, TV, wherever I see her, no one really has a bad word to say about her. People say she's a great person. She's a cool chick. She's a good person. So if she was not a likable individual, then it would probably be less of a social faux pas to critique her on the way that she dresses juxtaposed to her body type. But because she's a likable person, if you do that, it's shaming. And what I'm saying, and what I think people like Aries Spears, and I think even you, what I think people like us are saying is, you can be a likable individual, but hey, man, we're going to critique you we're going to check you on some of this stuff. Yeah. Because some stuff doesn't fly, even if you are a great, likable person who loves themselves. And yeah, it's great. I'm glad she loves herself. I'm glad she feels great in the skin that she's in. I'm glad that she is comfortable with who she is. I'm glad that she feels great about herself. I'm glad that she has good self-esteem. But if you're showing up to a Lakers game with your ass out and that's your body type, you're going to incur the criticism. And just because you're a nice person doesn't mean you're absolved of that. But we've created this weird conflation where being nice means that we should embrace everything that you're doing. And you can be a nice person, but still be doing certain things that you shouldn't be doing. Both of those things can be happening at the same time. Like, life is nuanced in that way. Both of those things can be happening simultaneously. So I feel that it's unfortunate that people leapt to criticizing Aries Spears, quite frankly. But at the same time, I'm not surprised. I understand that these things are what they are. I just, think that the backlash against people like him, as well as Chappelle and people like that, is heavy-handed. And these body positivity and these other, ground swells and subsets of our culture and society, they just take this stuff too far and they're just way too defensive.
And I agree. And just like I said in our first topic, bro, like, there's so much availability and accessibility to vices, and you have access to whatever you want to get into. And so right now, what people generally do, people have like vices over here, vices over there, but some people find a place and they just hunker down and they find a vice and they just go all in on that. And that's what their thing is. And don't shame me for it. And it's just like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that though.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing that. Well, everybody else is doing it. And it's just like, there's a lot of people doing it, yes. But the only reason there's so many people doing it now is because of that device you have in your hand. This isn't regular human behavior. You might want to stop that. But what has happened is these people go, hey, I got mine, you got yours. I don't want to be judged for my crap, so I'm not going to judge you for your crap. You want to be overweight and unhealthy, so be it, because I'm XYZ and unhealthy over here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it's a band of people who are just on the internet who are just hurt people. And so the hurt people reach out and say, you're shaming her for that. And it's just like, no, we're not shaming her. We're actually trying to help her. You're the one that's hurting her.
Yeah, you're enabling.
The
Yeah.
enablers.
Yeah.
And so the enablers are the ones who are injuring her. Aries Spears, ironically, is the one who's actually trying to help her. So that's the whole bizarre thing of what's going on in modern society, where people, really can't decipher. And you mentioned this earlier, reality from damn metaverses and Oculus visions, because people are living in this false paradigm where everything's all good. Hey, do your thing. If it kills you, who cares?
So be it.
So be it. It's just a RIP hashtag after that. And then on to the next thing. And that's the one thing about her air quote fans. You know what I'm saying? When people are fans of you, I know that, like you said, the personality thing, all whoop, but there's a lot of people here for the sideshow. And so all these people that are here for the sideshow, which is a lot of them, they're not, it's whoop, whoop. After you gone, they on to the next. They don't care about you, but they're the ones gassing you up in your comment section, and you're believing it and grabbing another donut.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a sad little cycle, but it is what it is.
Facts, man. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. That is absolutely correct. Echo chambers, man. The internet has created an ecosystem of echo chambers. And it's another reason why people can't, it's another reason why things have become so divisive, like, for example, in the political space, because the internet has afforded us with the ability to exist in communities with other people who think the exact same thing as us.
Exactly.
So after you've been exposed to that for so long, you don't even know what it feels like to be exposed to an opinion that is opposite yours. And because you're so unaccustomed to it, you react to it aggressively, with anger. And it's like, okay, listen, there's 7 billion people in the world. They don't all have the same opinion as you. Furthermore, not only do they not have the same opinion as you, but that doesn't mean that they're not good people, because their opinion is different than yours. But we've lost the art. This is atrophy that we have as a society. It's a form of atrophy that we have socially, where we have lost the ability to be able to glean insight and sensibilities that are opposed to our own, because the internet has created these subcultures that allow us to exist in our own echo chambers. If body positivity people are surrounded by other people who would never say hit the treadmill, because that's an indication that you're not on board with us. And so everybody I follow is saying the same thing on every platform that I'm on. I'm following the same people saying the same thing. And that's a lot of what's happened. It's unfortunate. But it's the same thing like with this politics stuff. People, relationships ending, friendships ending because a person has a political opinion that you don't have. So what? What does that even, like, what does that have to do with anything? So you've known this person for 20 years and you could have vouched for them at any point. But because they have this one political opinion that you don't like, now all of a sudden that one thing completely deconstructs the entire referendum that you had on who they were as a person prior to that point. It doesn't.
Because you didn't know them as much as you thought they did.
Apparently you didn't. Yeah. This one opinion that they have that you now know about means that you didn't know who they are for 30 years, 20 years. 10 years. It's illogical. And we do this, and we do the same thing with this kind of stuff, with these movements. Shame this, body positivity that. It's ridiculous. Like, we're going to get to a point where as human civilization, we have just eradicated all semblances of constructive criticism and feedback. But
No,
it is what it is. Yeah.
We're getting there. This is part of the all-inclusive, everybody wins a trophy.
Yeah.
No one's a
Yeah.
loser. You are a loser, kid. You're slower than everybody else. You suck. Get faster. That's how you become awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I became awesome from failing.
Yeah.
I failed at this. I failed at that. And then I got awesome because I learned from my failures. When you reward a kid for being trash, what do you think he's going to grow up to be?
Trash.
He's going to be trash. He can't do nothing right.
Mm-hmm.
Who did that to him? The people that didn't want to hurt his feelings. The enablers. Hey, kid, you suck. Get better.
Hey, man. Yeah. Somebody, look, it's probably somebody watching this video right now. This is a trash ass YouTuber. This dude is so trash. Good for you, bro. I'm glad you think I'm trash. Because it means I got room for improvement. And like this channel is not a cult. I don't want everybody to think I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't want everybody to agree with everything we say on this thing. That is what you call a cult. And I'm not interested in cults. This is not a cult. Diversity of thought is the idea. So yeah, I suck. Great. Some people think I suck. Some people think you suck. Some people think I'm cool. Some people think you're cool. That's the way the world works, man. And you're going to have some people who say, hey, Lizzo, don't show up to a Lakers game when you're damn near obese, wearing a skirt that's see-through and your whole ass is hanging out with your cottage cheese. I don't even like cottage cheese. I don't even eat salad. I don't want it. Keep it for yourself. Keep it.
Who eats cottage cheese though? Anyway,
I don't know. People who I don't know.
If you eat cottage cheese, bro, if you eat cottage cheese, bro, put it down in the comments. If you say you put it in mac and cheese or something, that's hiding it. That's not like really. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you really use cottage cheese?
I don't eat any of that, man. That stuff looks gross to me.
It looks like throw up.
That's it does. It looks like white throw up. Yeah, I got a thing with texture, man. I can't eat that stuff. I used to work a salad bar, and I just couldn't. The cottage cheese, I just didn't get it.
And bruh, and one more thing, bruh. Side note, I seen the process of how they make blue cheese. I said, oh, I ain't never eating that shit again. This is disgusting. It's like, Mario, you do know that, Parmesan cheese and all this other stuff is, molded. And I don't care. When I saw the blue cheese one, and I said, I never was a fan of it anyway. But, I'm not having it. If you do yourself a favor, watch a video on how it's made. It's gross.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not with blue cheese either. I'm not with it either. But yeah, shouts out to Aries Spears, man, and also shouts out to Lizzo. Seriously. But stop it with all of this body shaming stuff. Like
we're trying to help, Lizzo.
Yeah, for real. But so that'll do it for tonight, man. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Another great conscious approach video in the books. Thank you for supporting Logical Content. As always, please like this video, share it wherever you're seeing it. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, man. We appreciate you supporting Logical Content. Hit that button so you can get notification whenever new content is posted to the channel, because we are going to continue to roll and rock. If you're watching this video on the Facebook page, share the video, like the Facebook page. You can get at me on Instagram at JVWins, JVWINS. And you can also follow Conscious Approach on Instagram at ConApproach, CONAPPROACH. So again, man, appreciate you for tuning in. Certainly we'll catch you on the flip side.
Yep. And the name is Dogon SS. You can find me on Instagrams at Dogon_SS or on YouTube at Dogon SS. Go ahead and like and subscribe over there. And by the way, like I want to say, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to my Hurricanes. season is on the way. I'm very excited. We playing Bethune week 1, but still, I'm very excited. So go Hurricanes, man. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to FAMU, man. Y'all held it down against North Carolina, man. Y'all gave them a fight. And they ain't even want that. So shouts out to FAMU. But as I always say, man, don't be too high, don't be too low. Keep it even kill, man. Keep it calm, keep it chill, keep it player, bro. You know what I'm saying? And until next time, aha. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And until then, we have nothing left to say. We are signing off. We'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Peace.